All right, today I'm going to be testing 3 different kinds of 5.56 ammunition against a 1/2-inch steel plate. First up, we're going to be shooting 5.56 M855 green tip, 62 grain. Then we have M855A1, the real M855A1, 62 grain. And then we have my homemade M855A1. And we're going to test them all against a 1/2-inch plate, 1/2-inch steel plate at 45 yards. And we're going to see what the difference is and how well my homemade M855A1 does. Each of these bullets weighs around 50 grains, so we'll see how it goes. And for all the testing of these, we're going to be using a 16-inch AR-15. So here we go. All right, we got a 1/2-inch steel plate down there. We're gonna shoot M855 green tip on the left, M855A1 in the center, and then my homemade M855A1 on the right. So here we go. M855 green tip first. All right, that looks like a solid hit. Now M855A1 in the center. All right, that was a hit. Okay, now my homemade M855A1. Here we go. That looks like it hit there too, but where that M855A1 was supposed to go. Let's go see. All right, I'm gonna shoot another round of my M855A1 just so we can see, because they're not very consistent. I'm gonna try to get it over where it's supposed to be this time. So let's see what happens. All right, so we are back with the results. Pretty interesting what happened. I haven't touched anything yet, so this is exactly how I found it. I took it out of my little stand I was using to hold it. But so our first shot was M855 right here, the green tip, and you can kind of see the lead and some of the jacket in there, but it did not make it through. There's a little bit of a bulge in the back, but it did not make it through. It looked like it got probably 3/4 of the way through that, but it didn't make it through. And then we have the M855A1, which is this hole here, and it looks like the jacket is stuck in there. I don't know if I can pull that out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out or not, but it's pretty stuck in there. But on the back, it did look like the steel core of the M855A1 did make it through. So that's pretty crazy that M855A1 has that much power to get through a 1/2-inch mild steel. So that's pretty cool. It looks like it punched through. And then we have the moment we've all been waiting for, how the homemade M855A1 did. And it's pretty good, actually. Pretty good accuracy for a homemade bullet that's not very consistent. But the first shot, I was aiming for over here, but it hit over here. But there's enough room here where it's not compromised by the other one, so this should be an accurate read. Let me take some of that sticker off. But you can see on mine, there's some sort of I don't know if that's some of the lead from the bullet in there. I'm actually getting it to move a little bit, but it didn't make it through. You can see there's a bulge on the back, probably about what the M855 is. So it's about the same bulge on the back, but it didn't make it through, which is honestly, it did better than I was expecting it to, for a homemade bullet with just a mild steel core. So but it put a big old nasty looking crater on the front. A really cool crater. You can see all the little pieces of steel that was peeling back and everything. So it's probably, mine's probably about as good. There's some lead left in there and probably some of that steel core that I had in there. But it probably made it about as far, as much of a bulge on the back as with the M855. So I probably made about an M855. Definitely did better than just a regular M193 would do. But so yeah, that's what that looks like. Then I shot again for another test. I kind of hit on the edge here, but you can see there, and it put a good bulge there too, but no pass through. So now you know how my homemade M855A1 did. It's more like M855. It didn't even get close to the amount of performance as a regular M855A1 is. Maybe sometime I'll try to do a hardened steel core like the M855A1 has and see how that goes. But the mild steel cores, they're just not working out too well. So, but very interesting results. So now you know how mild steel core 5.56 does against a 1/2-inch mild steel. So very impressive win for the M855A1.